All right, everybody, welcome back to the Titans Table for Two in the two-tone blue. That's Andrew.
That's Christian.
And as always, at this time of year, it's a little bit of a short news week, but we're going to get into it when we come back. All right. What's up, Titans fans? I want to invite everybody to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know about anything, any of your thoughts on any of the topics that we're going to be talking about today. Go ahead, tighten up that like button. Shout out CPN, Curtis Podcast Network, for having us on. And also go check out this AFC South show, man. If you're a Jags fan, Colts fan, and you're just kind of peeking in over here, go
check behind enemy lines.
Yeah, they got something for you over there, man, if you want to talk about the whole division. But I guess let's go ahead and get into it. We got a few videos we're going to react to for you guys since it's kind of slow news and stuff like that. No big, huge stories necessarily in the last couple of weeks. We didn't have an episode last week. Part of that's because it's slow, you know.
Waiting for them to get through OTAs and stuff like that to be ready to go. But yeah, the first video is NFL and CBS. Florio and Sims.
Well, just before we get into it real quick, I will say I do like some of the things that I see, though, from videos and stuff. It's, you don't get a lot.
Obviously, they're not going to put a clip out of him throwing an interception or anything, but still,
sure.
I mean, the things you're seeing are looking good. He looks pinpoint. I've been super excited. I bought a Cam Ward jersey, so he'll be coming in the mail.
Yeah, man, I gotta wait a little bit. I gotta wait a little bit. I almost bought a Will Levis jersey last year, man, and I just gotta wait, man. I gotta wait. Give it about a half a season or a year, man, and then I'll maybe go grab me a jersey because I don't want to drop 150 bones, man.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I didn't last year, man. Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, we can go ahead and get into some videos if you want. I just wanted to kind of touch on that. Like so far, the small, and you don't get a lot, especially from the Titans. But from what I've seen and what I hear from the coaches and stuff, it sounds really encouraging, and I'm really excited for number one back there, man. I did watch the press conference with Warren Moon kind of coming as a surprise guest and kind of give him his number, his jersey number. I thought that was cool. So just been watching some of the stuff that I can. And one guy I'm gonna say that I am like excited about. I don't know how I'm gonna go ahead and say because I don't know if we'll get into him today specifically. I think Femi is gonna be a surprise, man. He just looks like a monster out there, dude. I'm excited about him, dude.
Yeah, he's a dude that has a lot of energy.
A lot of people didn't give that pick a very good grade. It was C and under, really. I didn't see a lot of people grade that pick very well, but I'm excited.
It was just because he's kind of raw, but man, he has all the talent in the world.
He has all of his measurables, man, are incredible.
And he has the motor too. He's been trying and giving his heart to the game isn't going to be a question with him. But yeah, this is Pro Football Talk. Florio and Sims, Titans, Cam Ward, Calvin Ridley have special connection cooking. So,
all due respect to the Houston Texans, two-time AFC South champions, but you and I are both big believers in Cam Ward, and they drafted a bunch of pass catchers for him because they needed them, but they have Calvin Ridley, who has shown that he can be very good. Here is both Ridley and Ward on their connection with each other so far in the offseason program.
Like I said, he came to my house to feel my brother and met him. The first thing he said after he left was like, man, he just ain't just calm, you relax. So, I mean, you need that at the quarterback position. Yeah, man. It can't just be an overthinker, a jittery guy. You just got to kind of, be okay with, up, doing good. Man, just got to have that mentality. Yeah, man.
Pause it. And if, honestly, that's like a stark difference. That's like a contrast from Will Levis, man. I think that was his big issue, man. I think he couldn't get out of here. Like when he started like messing up, it was just a snowball effect, man. Like he got worse and worse, man. I think this is why I've liked him from the beginning, and I picked him over Sanders and all the other quarterbacks they talked about. Is just that freaking how graceful he looks, man. It doesn't bother him, dude. Like,
it's just
when he goes out there
mentality.
Yeah, and even if he makes a mistake, man, he goes out there and just keeps playing, man. Like it's just, I like the composure.
For sure. Yeah, he's has a ton of that for sure, and he just has the right mindset about it. And we'll get into his work ethic and stuff in just a minute.
A dog. He can win versus press man. He knows zone. I think he's one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL, if not the best. And so I'm blessed to play with him. He's gonna make me look good. Every chance I get a chance to throw the ball to him. But he's somebody who's coachable. He's a team guy, and he's the right person to lead that room.
Hey, I love the Mutual Admiration Society. It's the kind of connection they need to have. The Titans, you and I both feel like they got something cooking, and we'll find out. It may take a little while, but they're going to be fun. They're going to be fun. They're going to be different, and there's a chance that sooner than later they're not going to be as irrelevant as they've been.
That's right. I'm excited to watch this guy. He's a game changer, this guy, and in my opinion. I think he is going to come into the NFL and be able to hit the ground running to a degree and have success. He's got all the talent in the world. He's got a special arm. He does that. He's going to be in the system, and they're going to make everything just right for him and make it work there. Calvin Ridley's good, and I love hearing that. I want to say a bunch of F words right now because that's my kind of talk, as you know. I mean, my senior year in college, the side of our ring said FIT. You know what that standed for? Do you know what it standed for? It standed for F it. F it, because that was our mode that year. Like, F it. F the haters. F this. Oh, it was a bad play. F it. Go to the next one. Oh, you don't think we can make a big play? F it. We're going deep right here. Like, there does have to be some sort of element like that from the quarterback that the offense can get behind where they're just like, hey, this guy's fearless. He's the man. He's going to lead us to the right way, right? Brady's had that. Mahomes has it. You got to have a little of that F it mentality, and then you're the quarterback, so you keep it cool, and I never lose my cool, and I'm the man. But it's still like you can get the guys going that way, and I think Cam Ward's got that special touch to do that in a locker room or in an offensive huddle.
Speaking on that, like I'm going to pull up an article about J.C. Latham talking about Cam too, but every single person they've interviewed and how does Cam carry himself? How's Cam? And everybody says it's even like old Miami teammates about how he just commands a room, commands the huddle, is just a good guy to be around, hard work, everything. Like even small things. Like there's a clip of Tony Pollard walking from the facility out to the practice field, and as he's walking out, Cam's right there, and he starts doing Cam's celebration.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's like I mean, it's a little small thing, but like Tony, like obviously that's showing that they're having a bond already, and that's his guy. Like, hey, man, we gonna do it. Here's the celebration.
Yeah, and I would like to see a guy like Calvin Ridley, man. I would like to see him retire a Titan, man. I'd like to see him finish his career out here and help get Cam Ward on the right track and start his career off, with the first few seasons.
I love Calvin, and I'm not saying he's Jefferson or Chase or one of those guys, but he's a lot better than people give him credit for. I mean, he has some drops that he probably should have had last year and stuff like that, but I mean, he still put up 1,000 yards with this horrific O-line and quarterback situation. So
I mean, you could argue too that those other guys have had some better QBs to work with as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Trevor Lawrence I always thought was overhyped a little bit. So and Will Levis speaks for itself. Even though there's obviously, like you said, there's drops that you had to put on him that he should have caught. But,
did he play a perfect season? Absolutely not. No, but he still put up the 1K. And I think
it's funny how all of a sudden they used to love him, man, and all of a sudden he's not as good now when he became a Titan. You know what I mean? People loved him when he was a Jaguar for some reason.
When he was a Falcon, they really loved him.
It's that stigma of the Titans, man. It's that, especially wide receivers. It's like all of a sudden, even if they're, it doesn't matter how good they were once they're here. It's crap.
We do have a bad history, whether it's Randy Moss, Julio Jones.
But we've also got some decent recent history though with veteran quarterbacks or wide receivers as well. DeAndre Hopkins had a good season.
Yeah, he kind of changed the mold for us because we went through the Andre Johnson, the Eric.
I don't know how many yards he had that season, but I'm pretty sure
he had over
1,000.
He cracked 1,000. Yeah, he did.
He cracked 1,000 for us. So I mean, it's people forget certain stuff about our history. It's just like they forget it wasn't that long ago. We were in the AFC Championship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it may seem like ancient history to some, but it really wasn't that long ago. So,
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, moving forward, I reckon.
Let's see what the last
It
little
either
bit
happens
says.
naturally or they try to engineer it, which gets back to what we were talking about yesterday. The things Mike McDonald was saying about Sam Darnold, they're trying to have him not be like scared to make mistakes. You don't want guys to be scared to make mistakes and think the next mistake is going to be the last mistake because he's going to get the bench or get the hook. I was going to say the hook or benched, and so I said the bench. He's going to get the bench. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube.
Well, and I think that's what Levis was
news
starting
and
to feel
analysis
last year, right? Like, because after like 3 weeks of it, man, he was under a microscope the rest of the year. He got memed like 3 weeks in a row, man. Like it's hard to come back from that for anybody, I'd imagine, man. It's probably, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm not joking about this. I'm not being funny when I say this. I wouldn't be surprised if dude needed a little therapy after some of that last year.
Levis, yeah, for sure.
So, I mean,
just speaking about what he was just talking about, though, about the making mistakes and having that mentality. I mean, even Callahan said, I think it was yesterday's press conference, he said, I want him to try things out here so you know what you can get away with in the game. So make those mistakes. I'd rather you make them out here than make them in the game.
Right? I mean, it's
nobody
not like
plays
they're
a
not
perfect
gonna
game.
happen.
Tom Brady is not perfect. His last pass as a Patriot was an interception.
Right.
To the Titans. Just saying.
Well, I mean, and Peyton Manning's last
his whole last season was horrible. If it wasn't for that defense, they don't win that Super Bowl. So
yeah, I mean, he couldn't hardly throw the ball. I mean, a lot of that's due to injury and stuff like that, but
still not perfect.
Point being, things are going to happen.
I mean, his rookie season, he threw 28 interceptions. Still holds the record for most interceptions by a rookie.
Yeah.
So, all right, but this next clip is a little 3-minute video. This is Andrew Siciliano filling in for Rich Eisen on the Rich Eisen show. Believes in Titans rookie Cam Ward.
And by the way, I think didn't Rich Eisen aren't they going ESPN now?
Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of like the Pat McAfee show where he'll still own he'll own the show and stuff, but they'll play him. I don't know. That's how they're doing everything now. So, but yeah, Siciliano believes in Titans rookie Cam Ward.
Team, pretty much every team is in the building this week. It's OTAs, it's mandatory minicamp next week. You're also hearing from most of, if not all of the coaches this week, including, among others, D'Amico Ryans and Brian Schottenheimer and Matt LaFleur, and Kevin Stefanski speaks tomorrow. He also spoke yesterday at the Browns charity golf tournament, Westwood Country Club in Cleveland. Speaking today, Brian Callahan, whose team has the number one overall pick in Cam Ward. Also, number 2, no primetime games nor standalone window games this coming season. However, by the end of the year, if they're good, maybe they do work their way into a standalone window because they have a quarterback in Cam Ward who I think is going to be pretty special. Here's Brian Callahan this morning.
It's just the recognition part, understanding what's being thrown at him from a defensive perspective. The protection game is always really important, so we're getting reps at that. Today's a big third down day, so he'll see lots of different pressures, understanding where your answers are. Those things have progressed. Happy with that process so far. And then he's seeing different types of space and field defense that throws that maybe he might have made in college that don't show up in the NFL the same way, and he's learning from those. I think it's been great. He's had a lot of learning that has occurred from just the act of doing and things that he's maybe used to doing that are different at this level. And that's always for young quarterbacks the case. It's always going to feel different. So pleased with where he's at. He's picking it up pretty quickly as far as the mental part goes. And we're learning every day he's out here.
Brian Callahan, head coach, Tennessee. The schedule not easy. They're open in Denver, then they're home to the Rams week 2. That is an odd week 2 game. Rams at the Tennessee Titans week 2, 1 o'clock Eastern on CBS. But
looks like 17-0 to me.
Now, I don't necessarily believe in the entire roster around Cam Ward, but I think we're going to see pretty early. Like that week 1 game, Bo Nix year 2. Let's see what the Broncos can do.
That is a sneaky, fun start to the year for both teams.
That's not even sneaky. That is a fun week 1 game. And if we're at the point, I think we are, at least for your favorite team, like hey, Cowboy fans know they open, right, in Philadelphia in the opener, right, in the big one. And Browns fans know they get the Bengals, as they did in 2023 when they went to the playoffs in week 1 at home in Cleveland, right? You know your team's week 1. You
Pause
probably
it
know your
real
team's
quick.
week 2. You probably haven't paid attention to the Titans and the
Pause it.
Broncos unless you're in Tennessee and Denver for week 1. But yeah, no one's good.
I'm super high in Denver this year, and so I'm really excited for year 2. Bo Nix, Sean Payton.
Man, that's enough of that. No one cares about them.
Yeah, that was
not
that
on
is
this
a
show.
weird week 2 game though. The Rams.
The
Usually
first
you
two
see
are
those
just weird in general.
interdivision games later on.
Yeah. Well, so a big thing that's come out and talked about, and since talking about Cam Ward learning and doing everything at OTAs, is him being the flight there at 5 a.m. every morning. And I think he's been joined by Gunnar Helm, Restrepo, DK, and Aoman, all the rookie receivers and tight end. And 5 a.m. looking at tape, going over, all the film, all the practice stuff they've been trying to get on. And then apparently they've had to kind of tell him to get out of the building so they can lock up a couple times.
Yeah.
So Cam, if anything, he's putting in all the work, there early. You can't tell him he doesn't want to be great. Now, Willie, I guess that's time will tell. But he wants it for sure.
Well, it was a tough year last year. We all know that. And we could touch on this guy a little bit as well because he's they've got a little article about him on Titans, Tennessee Titans online. But last year and this year, I think were 2 really good drafts, man. So far, you got J.C. Latham, who was the same way last year, was doing extra work after practice and coming in early and doing the right thing, shaking the right hand, just doing all the right stuff as a professional. Devondre Sweat was really fun. Now, did he have the numbers that you might want out of a rookie? No, but a lot of his effect on the game was hidden.
Yeah, he definitely had. Yeah, he made his presence felt for sure. If he didn't,
he had, I think, 1 sack and 4 tackles for loss, maybe 50-something tackles, and he had 24 QB pressures or something, I think.
But he seemed like he was in the backfield consistently.
Yeah, he's going to be a really solid player, I think, man. He's another guy. He's like a puppy with big paws, man. He's just got to grow into him. And then Cedric Gray's the guy I was kind of hinting at a minute ago. I'm hoping that he can come along and maybe compete for a starting job this year. Between those 3 picks, we like Brownlee as well a lot,
of course,
from last year. And then this year, the wide receiver, I'm really hoping these 3 guys that, Gunnar Helm, Io Manor, and even a Restrepo, Shamir DK, man. If 2 of those guys work out, and then Cam Ward becomes what we think he's going to be, we've drafted really well the past 2 years, so
yeah.
I like what I see. I'm glad to hear those guys kind of going in and getting some early work.
Yeah, you definitely would love to see Cedric Gray win that position, just based on his draft position and the talent there and the leadership that he's had. Because Cody Barton's definitely getting one of those starting linebacker positions.
Mm-hmm.
That's wide open. That's one of the ones that can really win that position. Gray, it's going to be with James Williams, which that dude is, if anything, an athletic freak. Coming from safety down to middle linebacker. He was I think he was the number 1 prospect in high school when he came out and went to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Otis Reese, who's kind of just been around, but he's always, he's made plays when he's on the field. And the sleeper for me, and I think we brought it up when we were talking about undrafted free agents, is David Binda from Texas. That guy's got some talent too. He was a leader on that Texas defense. He didn't get drafted, a little undersized, but don't sleep on that guy either. But yeah, I'm not going to pull the article up. I'm just going to kind of quote Latham on this, where he just talking about Cam Ward, and he said, "I think he's a great player, has immense amount of talent. He shows up every day ready to work with the right attitude. He holds himself accountable, and he holds himself to a standard that a lot of people can learn from. In that regard, I think he's a great player and was a great pick for our team." So
yeah, absolutely.
And that's just really just echoes everything that every player has been asked about for him. So like I said, if anything at all you've taken from OTAs, was said, there's not much to talk about for OTAs. But No, seeing your number one pick, the guy everybody's hoping is going to turn this franchise around, putting in every ounce of work that he possibly can, it is great for sure. And then we'll have mini
Absolutely.
camps start next week. We'll get more and more, and they'll get more and more competitive, more and more 7-on-7s, where they're actually going up against each other. And then there'll be a little bit of a layoff, and then when training camps, it's hit the ground
It'll be
running.
slow for a couple of months, man. We got what? Probably, let's see. So we got 3 months till like the regular season starts. We'll get some preseason.
We'll get some
games here in a
training
couple
camp
months.
stuff in there, like in July. But there's like that
We got a
3
couple
week dead
scrimmages
period. I
scheduled as
think
well.
they do. Yeah, but there's that 3 week dead period where they're like have to like get away from the game for like 3 weeks, and that's when we're probably getting to our top 25 Titans. Not our favorite, but the top 25 talented Titans that we have going. This is a video I pulled up. I have
a quick side note on that,
yeah.
man. I was just watching a couple of random games on YouTube. They got some channels have random games from 10, 15 years ago on there. And man, just a couple of names that popped up. Like I just was like, wow, I forgot like a Justin Hunter.
Justin Hunter, yeah.
Forgot all about him.
Bo Scaife.
That year, also our running back was it Sean Green was his name?
Sean Green came from the Jets down here for like a year. Yeah.
Goodness, I was sitting here like, man, what is going? It was the year that Jake Locker had got hurt and Fitzpatrick came in for the rest of the season or something.
It's crazy. It's like, oh, Fitzpatrick was on this team, and so was
Well, I looked at number 4. Said,
Matt Hasselbeck.
Number 4.
Matt Hasselbeck was on this team at one time.
I forgot, man, that I can remember that more. Like I don't know. I looked at number 4 running around throwing the football. I said, who is number 4 at quarterback?
Yeah, Charlie Whitehurst was here for a little bit.
Zach Mettenberger.
Man, I thought Mettenberger was going to be good.
Yeah, so did Taylor Lewan.
Yeah, watch Daddy spin that thing. This is a video which I need to try to figure out where he's talking Cam Ward. This is Rich Eisen, and it's actually Eisen from like a week ago. And it's bold week 1 predictions for Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, and the Browns. It's a 13-minute video, so I got to kind of find where he's talking about Cam. I haven't vetted this video at all. So I'm going to play it. Might just skip through a little bit, figure out where he's talking Cam Ward and what his bold predictions are for him.
Let's roll. Shoot.
Play us. See.
To go around the National Football League on a rookie update. And of course, it starts in Tennessee.
There we go.
Tennessee Titans have chosen to split reps.
That makes it easy.
Yeah.
Very simple question.
I'm going to speak on this in a minute.
Right now, there's a whole lot of rotation going on at all positions. So there's guys that you might see out there with the 1s or with the 2s. It's really irrelevant at this point in time. All guys are rotating. They're all going through the process. There is no 1s, 2s, starters, not. All that stuff is what you see is going to be a rotation, and whatever you see today might be different tomorrow. So I wouldn't read too much into who goes when and why at this point. It's a sort of irrelevant to our process. There's a plan in place.
Well, I got news for you, Coach. They're going to.
Okay. That's the way Brian Callahan started his press conference. That was without.
So here's what I want to speak on of this. He said that, and there were a lot of people that did that, read into it, and very upset about it. And why are we doing this? Whatever. But if you keep up with Jim Wyatt's practice observations, he puts out like all the different Cam Ward was 7 for 11 today, in 7-on-7s and 2 for 4 in team period or whatever. There's only been 2 open practices that he's been able to do that for. But in both practices, Cam Ward has had more reps passing the ball than Will Levis. So he can say all he wants, but it's true. Like Cam Ward is getting more reps.
Right.
And maybe that has, I don't know how deep they're going into it. They're doing because I don't think they're doing the point where it's like, like training camp, they'll be like, you have 2 minutes, you got to get a first down. They actually do like a live game simulation with it all. I don't think they're doing that. I think it's like, okay, we're working on third down today. Give me, 10, 15 reps on third down offense or whatever. So, but yeah, Cam Ward is getting more reps just based on Jim Wyatt's practice.
And as he should. I'm of the mind that they need to get out of that. And I know they're going to do their football talk or whatever, but they need to be of the mind, in my opinion, this is just logic speaking for me. We know he's going to be the starter, man, barring some crazy stuff happening.
Yeah.
You need to just focus on getting him ready for week one, as opposed to making him win the job type deal, and I don't think that's what they're doing. I don't get too upset about stuff like that. I mean, I kind of see the writing on the wall.
I think everybody and their mama knows who's a starter on this team.
Yeah, there's no reason to get upset about it, man. He's just doing coach talk, man.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's
Out a question being asked.
Interesting.
And for those on the radio, when he said ones and twos,
the NBA playoffs are here, and I'm betting
a little bit
rebound
of Charles
props on
for you guys.
FanDuel. I am the league's greatest rebounder. Ain't that right, Chuck GPT?
Incorrect.
Big old top women five down for in sure.
San Antonio.
New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets
There's
if you
gonna be
win.
an ad on my
FanDuel, America's
TV.
number
I'm
one
glad you
sports
got
book.
use the air quotes.
Them big old women down in San Antonio.
Like for instance, Mike, you are our audio executive. Is that wrong or is that right?
That's right.
I'm gonna go down to San Antonio.
For the radio audience, I used air quotes. You saw.
You said they be eating these churros like this.
Them big old women down in San Antonio with them churros.
What is he saying?
I will never talk bad about San Antonio and them churros. I finally had churros, Tony. Ernie. Ernie, I will never talk bad about San Antonio and the churros.
The clip where he's talking about, man, they so bad, we're not even going to send them to Cancun. We're going to send them to Galveston, Texas.
He's funny, man. That show's going to be missed, man. I know we're on a sidebar.
Well, speaking of like the ESPN, like Rich Eisen, that's what they're going to be doing too.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Chuck and Shaq and all them, man.
I'm not sure how much it's going to be on and what how it's going to be, but you'll get some form of it next year.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
I'm
That's
using air
gonna
quotes.
be Chuck.
You don't want to be referred to in an air quotes.
No. Don't want an air quote.
Cam Ward is our first overall quarterback. Pay no attention to the rotation in Tennessee. Guess what? Apparently, you should not pay attention to that in Cleveland either.
They already done. Titans a minute and a half in.
Well, he said bold week one predictions. I thought it was going to be something like, I bet he'd give us an actual prediction.
Jeez, man.
Hey,
it was a
I
14-minute video, and they touched on the Titans for a minute and a half.
2 minutes and 42 seconds. I can't get mad at Rich though, because Rich talks about the Titans more than anybody, just about.
Oh God, good.
Other than Kyle Brandt. Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football gives the Titans a lot of credit.
Get the first overall pick, and somehow we're talking about the Browns.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's crazy, man. I don't care though. It's never bothered me when they don't talk. I got over that crap years ago.
Yeah, for sure. Well, all right. So I guess that might bring us down to our final bite. You ready for that?
Yeah, let's go, man.
All right, final bite. All right, what you got for me?
Shout out to Braun Strowman, by the way, man. No longer a WWE superstar, man.
Or R-Truth.
That's crazy, man. I don't know what's up with that, man.
What's up?
TKO doing their own things. And R-Truth got a new song that he dropped, by the way, on YouTube, by the way. It's pretty cool.
Go check that out. What's your final bite?
Yeah, no, mine's real quick. Just a happy birthday to a former Titan, DeAndre Hopkins. Tomorrow, June 6th, D-Day. America, baby. If you love this country, you know what D-Day is. But yeah, DeAndre Hopkins has a June 6th birthday on D-Day, man. Didn't know that. I wanted to shout him out, man. He did a good job here in Tennessee as a wide receiver. We get a lot of crap. We talked about it. As the wide receiver,
really
guard, you know,
diva or anything when he was here. So.
Yeah, he was here through some lean years, man. Some tough times here in Tennessee, and actually got us a 1,000-yard season, despite what people think about veteran wide receivers coming here. It's not always the truth, everything you hear all the time. But funny how we forget the positive things sometimes and always remember the negative. But yeah, D-Hop had a couple good seasons here, 1,000-yard season. Appreciated his time here. Respect him. And wish the best for him. So happy birthday, D-Hop.
Birthday, D-Hop. My final bite's going to go about Jeffrey Simmons and how it's not a big deal that he's not there right now. Everybody making a big deal that everybody on the team is there but Jeffrey Simmons. It's not mandatory, and he's done this every year. He'll be there next week. just like he always does. He has a
Yeah,
training
there's certain
regiment.
players. Rob Gronkowski touched on that stuff in his Bussin' with the Boys interview, that there's certain guys that reach a level, and you have to be a proven guy. But I think we can agree that Jeffrey Simmons is proven at this point. You kind of get that leeway, and you don't have to be there
And
for the non-mandatory stuff. You know,
he's
then
training,
it's not
he's
expected.
working. Kevin
Yeah.
Zeitler's not practicing right
They
now
trust
either.
certain guys to
Tyler
do their
Lockett's
own
not
programs.
practicing right now either.
A lot of these guys have personal trainers and stuff as well that they work with.
He does a
parties
lot
they
of
work with
like
outside of
off
the
the
team.
field stuff down there too. Like he does his football camp, his youth football camp, his charity work, and not to get into his personal business, but I think he was going through a custody battle too. So you don't know what he's got. But
This is these guys' jobs, man. And if you had the opportunity to just kind of take care of your work at home for extra couple weeks instead of being at the building, you're going to do it too.
He'll be there next week when mandatory minicamp starts next week. He'll be there.
Not concerned about
Calm
it
down.
whatsoever, man. We'll
Calm
talk about
down.
it in a few weeks if he ain't showed up.
He's still that dude. Okay.
Yeah, man. I ain't worried about it. I
But
agree.
on that note, I think that wraps up our episode today. Like we said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the alert button, check out the CPN, check out this AFC South show. Tell your friends about us. We're still trying to grow. We've been growing pretty good right here the last couple of weeks. So just want to keep that momentum going. So all your Titans buddies, tell them about us. So on that note,
absolutely.
Check, please. I'll buy this one.
All right, word.
All right.
Next week.
Tighten up, guys. Let's go.
Tighten up, baby.